What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a side-by-side comparison from the Flight Factor A320 Ultimate and X-Plane 11, comparing it to the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 A320 Neo. We're going to look at a takeoff head-to-head comparison in both sims with the same weight, same environmental conditions, and same airport. I know the Flight Simulator 2020 A320 Neo is overperforming in some aspects of its flight envelope. Now I'm trying to figure out where that is. This video is going to absolutely shock you as I take us from takeoff to a climb up to 5,000 feet with a selected speed of 250 knots. I'm going to walk you through the first takeoff together, and I'm going to point out some things about which airplane it looks a little bit more accurate, and then I'll let you watch the same takeoff again with no commentary so you can be a judge for yourself. But this result is absolutely shocking. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we got both aircraft set up almost identical. The V-speeds in the Flight Sim 2021 are a little bit different, but we're looking for climb performance here, not so much ground roll. So I get the aircraft spooled up to 50%, release the brake, and we go full toga. You can see it enunciated here. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause. Alright, so looking at the right side of our screen here in X-Plane 11, we can see the Flight Factor 320 has the proper indications on the PFD. Man toga is completely boxed, indicating that toga thrust has been selected. SRS, or the Speed Reference System, is selected and active. Nav mode is armed, and auto thrust is blue and boxed, indicating that it is ready to activate upon reduction of the thrust levers to the auto thrust active region. Now you can also note on the PFD on the right side of your screen, the SRS, or Speed Reference System flight director bar, is at its proper location. This helps us determine where to pitch the aircraft to maintain the proper trajectory of our aircraft after rotation. You can see it sitting right about 8 degrees nose up. That is accurate. Unfortunately, on the Flight Sim 2020 version, you could see that the flight director bars are completely level with the horizon. This is an incorrect representation at this current point. You can see both trend arrows on the indicated airspeed are correct and trending upward. Both aircraft reach 100 knots, almost identical. One thing that is also important to note here on the Flight Factor 320, they have correctly simulated the side stick order indication. This is displayed as soon as one engine is started and indicates the total of the pilot's and first officer's side stick commands. We use this for checking our flight controls on the ground and during our takeoff ground roll when we are expected to put down forward pressure on the stick until reaching about 100 knots, then we're going to a neutral position. Now, one thing to pay attention here during rotation is the SRS, or Speed Reference System, does not really seem to function on the Flight Sim 2020 version of the Airbus. As I rotate the aircraft, I should be pitching for about V2 or V2 plus 10 as depicted by the SRS command bar on the right-hand side. You can see where Flight Factor has that modeled correctly, where I can see exactly where I need to put the pitch of the aircraft to maintain the correct energy and trajectory of my aircraft after rotation. The Flight Sim 2020 version almost seems to just mimic where I put the stick. It doesn't really show me where to go. It just seems to kind of follow my inputs from the side stick, which make it a little bit more challenging to get the right speeds. So looking at the still image here, I can kind of see what's happening and why I'm rocketing out here in the Flight Sim 2020. This seems to be an under-rotated aircraft. The flight command bars are not pitching up where they need to go, thus me trying to follow them or find them, I'm under rotating, allowing the aircraft to accelerate at a much lower AOA with less drag more rapidly than on the right side of your screen, as you can see in the Flight Factor 320, where I'm up there 18 degrees of pitch right away. Now, what gets interesting here is this seems to flip-flop. While the Flight Factor 320 stays steady at about 18 degrees nose up, now look at my Flight Sim 2020 aircraft. Now it's pitching up in excess of 25 degrees nose up, resulting in skyrocketing vertical speeds and decreasing indicating airspeed. So this is a very interesting observation here that I thought it was pretty interesting to see play out here when I did this side-by-side comparison. I was not expecting this at all. Now, what's really going to get you is, as we get a little bit further on here, the aircraft will actually level at 5,000 feet at almost the same time. So while the Flight Factor 320 is much more realistic, in my opinion and from my experience, the Flight Factor 320 climb profile resembles the real thing much better than the Flight Simulator 2020 aircraft. That being said though, I do not think it is necessarily a thrust problem or an overpowering problem in the flight sim Airbus. I think it might just be something as simple as thrust command logic and flight director logic that will be hindering and causing these weird instances and weird vertical speeds and slow indicated speed during these critical phases of flight. So I thought it was extremely shocking, and it was a very big surprise to me when I saw both of these aircraft level off at 5,000 at nearly the same time, even though the flight sim Airbus had an extremely high rate of climb at a certain point and then a very slow indicated airspeed during the climb out. It somehow leveled its way out, and they both reached 5,000 feet at almost the same time. Now, there were a couple other things on the PFD on the right side of your screen that are accurate, such as the PLI indicator comes down during rotation. That doesn't happen on the Flight Sim 2020 bus. But overall, I mean, it almost seems like some of the core functions are there. It just needs to be tweaked out. So, again, I thought this was a very interesting video, a very surprising outcome. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you're enjoying the Sims. I'm going to leave you guys watch it one time through without me talking. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya.
Airbus 320, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved. Airbus 320, acknowledge last transmission. Airbus 320, did you hear my last transmission?